Sup everybody, welcome back to another video. Hopefully you're having a good one. Today is a video I've been working for about 2 years to make, and the reason why it's taken me so long is because I want to try to get all the details in just to show you the satisfying downfall of one of the massive corporations, and in fact one of the biggest corporations, not just in the United States of America, but in the world. And that is, of course, the biggest animation studio known as Disney. If, for some strange reason, you live under fucking Patrick Starr's rock, Disney has been the kings of animation for well over 100 years, and they pretty much own up the everything that is big companies nowadays. Like they pretty much buy everything out. Are you a fan of Star Wars? Yes, that's bought by Disney. Are you a fan of Marvel? That's also bought by Disney. Are you a fan of fucking Hulu, I guess? That's also bought by Disney. They just been over the last 25 years buying and buying and buying shit. And then of course, the last couple years going through major scrutiny. And that's what I want to kind of get into this video. What caused Disney's decline and my personal feelings with Disney nowadays and how I feel like their movies are so lackluster, how I feel like everything is a pandering message, how they're also symbolically creepy as well. So let's go ahead and get right into the video. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Disney has been, in the last 15 years, just constantly buying out companies. Obviously, starting back in the early 2000s with Pixar, and then just other competitions. They bought out other major like studios to them for movies that came out under the umbrella, such as Dead Poet Society and many others. They've been buying out companies for the longest time, really. And of course, the main things that they bought out, is Marvel, Star Wars, which to me, them buying out Star Wars, I feel like they ruined the Star Wars franchise when they did that. People gonna be arguing like, oh, but they had like the Mandalorian and stuff, and I fucking like the Mandalorian. I thought the Mandalorian for the most part was a good series, but with them buying out Marvel and the MCU, and the tanking that the MCU is going through right now, I blame a lot of it on Disney. And they also bought, I shit you not, they bought out the National Geographic, which, okie dokie then. They bought out FX, which is like a channel that usually shows movies. They also bought out, like I said, Hulu. They literally bought out ESPN, which is, to me, even crazier. Obviously, I've said in the past that I very much despise ESPN nowadays. ESPN is a frivolous shell compared to what it was. Except for the Pat McAfee show. The Pat McAfee show is fucking lit. But other than that Pat McAfee show, there's nothing like relevant. The commentary on ESPN, specifically for the NBA, is somehow drier than old pussy, because honestly, old pussy could get wet more than fucking some of the commentary on there. It's so fucking bland. Except for Mike Breen. Mike Breen is a fucking G. So I just want to point out the buying of companies because it also brings out a notable issue with Disney at large. They would rather be a monopolistic juggernaut than create their own movies like they did in years past, create stories, create something that people give a fuck about, or at least give them the notion to like get invested like they did in the 30s and 40s, 50s, 60s, and then in the 90s with the Renaissance. It's more relevant stuff to come out that was even then, like Beauty and the Beast, the original Little Mermaid. We're going to get into the live actions in another part coming up soon in the video. But the reason why I want to mention this is because the buying out of companies, it's making Disney, Disney's a billions, if not $1 trillion empire, with their theme parks and all that and their classic iconic animation. But with them buying out companies means that they can't compare. And in the last decade in animation, their movies in general just haven't lived up to the hype. So they buy out companies like Marvel, Star Wars, that are people are interested in, so Disney can get a fair share of profit in return because they're making big money at the time and they want to cash in on short-term profit, and then, as you could see throughout later in the video, long-term capital and long-term gains, and your laborers, your employers, it's not going really well for them at all. It's actually going down the toilet for them. So that is the part of the video I want to get into next, is the live action remake. So let's go ahead and get right into that. So over the last, I don't know how many years, Disney has been making a shit ton of live action movies. Obviously, the live action Lion King and the live action Beauty and the Beast, as well as the most recent god fucking awful atrocity known as the Little Mermaid live action remake, and then one that is slated to be released, but I don't think it will, despite how fucking awful the actress is for that series, man, is the remake of Snow White. And the reason why I am making this a point is the live actions, they're very soulless. They mean nothing. It doesn't give any cred to the original, like, animated version of it at all. The live actions feel soulless. They feel like they're budget for it, and we have a shit ton of budget. The CGI looks like shit. The live action vibe makes me uncomfortable. Probably throws off a lot of viewers as well. And then, in the case of Disney, they want to race swap characters. They want to change the story from the original. Makes no sense, man. Why would you want to change the story that you already made? Oh, for feminism. Oh, for empowerment. Oh, for this. Oh, for that. No. That makes no sense. It makes absolutely zero sense. And the fact that y'all want to make live action simply for the fact to promote a feminist message, or to promote, oh, women empowerment. Women are strong. There's plenty of ways to promote women being strong. That's not one of them. It's forced. It's pandering. It's a joke. The race swap thing is to have the diversity and inclusion conversation. Just because swapping your race means, oh, look, we're being diverse and inclusive, it doesn't mean you're being diverse and inclusive. It just means you're changing the story to make yourself look good. It makes no sense, and it should never have happened. And then, of course, with the case of Snow White, you have a narcissistic asshole like Rachel Zegler, who, in hindsight, wants to think everything bad about the story, and then the story that they're creating for it is garbage. I hope it never gets released. That woman is one of the most hated people, deservingly so, because she's a effing clown. Because no world does we need people like Rachel Zegler. She's a fucking joke, bro. A fucking joke. I wish people like that would just never get fame. There's plenty of talented people that are famous, that are Hispanic, and then you get talentless hacks like her. It just makes no sense, man. I know this is kind of like a minor point in the video, but the reason I'm making this a point is, like I said, the live actions, it's contributed to Disney's decline. They flop in the box office. Well, but it made $100 million. Like, you got to realize they put hundreds of millions of dollars in marketing for their movies. They put hundreds of millions of dollars in the budget, only to make not even break even. Because if you can't even break even, you're not making profit. You're losing profit. In turn, that makes actors and actresses lose profit. And if you're not breaking even, you're not doing anything right. If you're below the break even point, then you're fucked. And that's what Disney is right now. They're fucked, especially with movies because they can't even come up with an original theme. Especially for like even their animated movies, they just nowadays they're just tactless, soulless, and even with Pixar, it's the same way. It's Pixar has put out a lot of soulless films. No pun intended, but Soul was actually a good film. Even if there was like issues with it, I still enjoyed the soundtrack at least to it. A lot of the Disney movies nowadays is just soulless, man. And then the live actions are a good example of that. So let's go ahead and move on to the next point. Disney over the last 5 to 7 years have been really interested in giving a more of a political message than making a storied film with an actual good storyline. And the reason why I say that is because of the last few films. Let's take the movie Elemental, for example. There was a non binary character in the film, and you would think, oh, it's for representation and stuff like that. But no, they're doing it because it's political. They want to pander a message towards that community. It's not because they want to represent the community, it's because they want to have pandering because, oh, it's the popular thing to do right now, you know? Pander towards the community, and that's what Disney does best. This also goes into correlation with politics because they've been in the battle with the state of Florida for a few years now, specifically with Governor Ron DeSantis and the Don't Say Gay bill that came out, I think, 3 years ago. I believe it was 3 years ago. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was 3 years ago. And the reason why Disney has been so active in this political climate, one, because of, like I said, the companies nowadays, they shifted towards that direction of people like politicians and rich people like George Soros, who think they run the world because they are that guy, they are him, like, you know, whatever the fuck he thinks he runs the world, you know. That dude's a fucking clown. That dude is a fucking clown. You know what I'm saying? And Disney follows suit, and the reason why I'm saying they're following suit is because with them promoting a political message in their films, they're not really helping promote audiences to go see the film. They're turning away. This is going with the same thing with the NBA, somewhat with the NFL, but honestly not as much with the NFL because football is a very popular sport and it will still continue to be the most popular sport in America. But at the same time, nobody wants to hear a political message. Nobody wants to hear a thing about, oh, social justice this, social justice that on a sports network. Nobody wants to hear that on a sports network. I can guarantee you that. They hear it on the news all the time. If they want to hear about it, they can go watch the news. And nobody wants to hear it in their kids' animated films with Pixar, with their regular films, and the soulless live actions like the I said previously mentioned with the Little Mermaid being solely because that they were making it just to pander. They made that movie just to have, oh, we have a black female lead. Oh, we made Snow White. She's not white. And you know, it's in the changing of the message to be like a feminist political thing. And it goes the same thing what they done with Star Wars. They're doing it with Marvel. Have you seen the new Marvel's film? It's somehow rated worse than The Incredible Hulk. And this was the biggest budgeted Marvel film of all time. So they lost a shitload of profit because of that film. And, you know, rightfully so. Like, nobody wants to have oh, we're doing an all-female cast. Representation, go woohoo. Like, not only the fact the movie itself was fucking garbage. Like, not even, just taking the politics out of that for a second. They've just been so fucking garbage, like, just movie-wise. They haven't felt like, they feel soulless. They don't feel something like, oh, I want to go see a Disney film. That's why Universal's popping off right now. That's why Paramount, a little bit's popping off. There are other studios, be it both animation and not animation, just regular feature films, that are way better than Disney's outlets because Disney, they're so in their own head. And the reason why I say they're in their own head is like, I mean, look what they've done. Their company is falling. I mean, they had to let go over 3,000 employees from the Disneyland, and they move in their offices, And then they've been fighting with the government of Florida with the office build. I mean, Bob Iger, man, you are a clown, man. That's all I can really say. And if you want your company to get any better, make more profit than you have had in the last 20 years when you were making good fucking money, then just stop promoting this shit. Stop promoting uh, transgenderism in the classroom. Stop promoting this crap in films. Stop saying that, oh, the people are the problem because all our movies are failing because of our political messaging. Don't, it's your problem. It's not the people's fault that they don't want to see that crap. They're tired of it. People are waking up and they're tired of it. And that leads me to the biggest point of this video. Why I made this the biggest point in this video is the politics have gotten so fucking bad in this country. And with companies like they think with Disney, they think they can tell you what to do. They think they're above you in every single way. When in reality, they're really, really not. And I want to make that point very loud and clear. No matter what they say and do, they will never be above you. They're a corporation. They are a monopolistic corporation that want to take advantage of you. They're considered to be a creepy company because of the people that work there. They get arrested, and you see some of the people. They're like, "Oh, wow, yeah, no, that's creepy." And so that's all I can really say. I'm gonna leave that point at a close. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next point now. Continuing over into the point I was mentioning earlier about you being the problem, you're not only the problem according to Disney, you're also irrelevant to the decisions made for films because apparently your money doesn't matter according to Disney. When in reality, your money matters to them more than anything, and they're only saying that because they're seething inside because they're not making any profit from the money you're giving them. You're not giving them money because you see the Disney Plus subscriptions are down. The getting rid of people got rid of Hulu because of Disney. People are tired of ESPN, even though, like I said, ESPN has its own string of problems. A lot of it falls on Disney because they fucking own the shit. So it's at the same time like, everything has to be a political message, and also it has to be an irrelevance factor. And this point's rather minor, and the reason why I'm making this only a minor point is because it's also a major point at the same time. And the reason why I'm saying that is if you want Disney to get better and just don't give them money, they'll start realizing, oh shit, the people really are relevant in the matter. But when you get too big for your own self, you lose money, and their stock price has gone down significantly because of it. Right now it's stagnant, but at the time with the political messaging, their stock price dropped more than for the first time since the 70s, and I was like, damn, bro, that is rough. So, keep letting that stock price drop. Keep not giving them money. Let the investors realize, oh shit, Disney's not making us any fucking money. Let's go buy somewhere else and sell somewhere else. So that's the reason why I wanted to make that point. Just keep doing that shit. Make sure that they think you're irrelevant by being more relevant to them once their company goes bankrupt. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. In conclusion, this company, man, they deserve every bit of their downfall. And the reason why I didn't release this video any sooner, I had this video planned for 2 fucking years, and I would have had it done a long, long time ago. The reason why I didn't finish it was because obviously the hiatus I went on a 9-month hiatus. I apologize for that. I was really overreaching in content. So, but going back on topic, the reason why it took me 2 years to make it because there was so many points to make. Like you could see the same redundant points. Oh, their movies suck nowadays. What happened? Oh, the political stuff. But I also wanted to go into the relevance factor of people because they're not really talking about like you. people in general are also like, oh yeah, they're getting fucked with. Like you and your money deserve better shit in society and the economy than what Disney is giving you. That's why they have consumer sovereignty. You know, term I used in economics class right there. But yeah, no, consumer sovereignty in that point. You make your decision. You make the decision of what you want to pay. Don't let celebrities or corporations dictate what you pay. The celebrities that tell you to buy like companies that they are sponsored by is because they're sponsored by them. They also are bought by the company. They're basically a sellout machine. Don't buy from them. Make your own mind up. Buy shit you want to buy. Don't buy shit just because some fucking celebrity like Kim Kardashian tells you to do it. Or some retard at Disney that tells you, oh, you need to do this to support like the rainbow flag or this and that. Like, no. Just make up your own decision. You make your decision. That is what consumer sovereignty is. Now, if you're on the side of where you're in that community and you want to buy because you are a part of that community, that's you also have that decision. This is America, man. But at the same time, like, don't expect everyone to be on board with what you're doing. Not everyone will be. That's why I said at the beginning, not everyone's going to be on board with what you're doing nowadays because of the issues with stuff like this. So that's all I really got to say on my final thoughts. In conclusion, this company's a fucking wreck. So thank you so much for watching this video. It's one of the longer videos I've made in the comeback. They're only going to get longer. I'm just playing. I don't know. There's a couple videos I have planned that are going to be pretty fucking long. So look forward to that when that comes. But thank you so much for the support on the return. Getting to see the video that I put out a day and a half ago is really fucking awesome to see the support on that. Thank y'all so much. It's really awesome to start making content like that again. It's just been so fun. It's fun to make videos again, and I'm having fun with it. I'm not even caring anymore. I just want to have fun making content, and that was an example of me having fun. It was making this video. I also have another video finished that will be out later today too, so you'll get a 2-in-1 because this video was delayed in the making of it. So thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all in the next video, everybody. Peace out.